Muy bien. Pues vamos allá, señores. Segunda ludada. Bueno, a ver si estoy más centrado que ayer. Porque ayer... En fin. Vamos a ver. Empiezo un poco tarde, pero estoy estudiando aquí una cosa. Igual. Empezamos, con la musiquita. Simple y gone. Alterna. Tengo, por cierto, el driver de la gráfica, el trucho. ¿Verdad? ¿Verdad? A la mames. Joder, se me cambió de monitor, tío. ¿Cómo me puedo cambiar de monitor? Buenas, Jackie, ¿qué tal? No sé por qué se me cambió de monitor esta mierda. Espera, a ver si lo puedo cambiar. Bueno, a ver si me abre bien solo, porque se me abrió bien, pero de repente se movió malamente. Bien, bien. Ya casi es fin de semana, ¿eh? ¡Oh! ¡Mañana viernes! ¡Mañana viernes! ¡Buah! Allá le vamos. Mira, se puso bien solo al reiniciarlo. Vale. Mejor. ¡Oh! ¡Ay, Dios! Ay, la madre. Ay. Vale. Perdona. Ah. Sed eterna, acto 1. Nada, empecé ayer el jueguito este y no, la verdad que no jugué mucho, Estaba completamente perdido, distraído. Daño agravado. Vale. Estamos en un bar. Muelle de Limehouse. ¿Cómo era lo de la sangre? Ah, sí. Ah, vale, sí, ya estoy ubicado. De nuevo, vale. No se agacha este. Ah, bueno, claro, no se agacha. No se agacha. Lo hice mal, tío. Vale. Usa V para detectar enemigos cercanos y ver su información, ¿vale? Hola. Resistencias. A cuerpo, a largo alcance. Naranja a distancia media.
Best stay back, sir. Sir! Step away!
Uy, es que tengo miedo, tío.
Stupid beast!
Este es un bigardo, ¿eh? ¿Cómo hago? Con la autofagia. Bueno, no era tan duro este, ¿eh? Después de todo. Equípate. Buenas, Nails, ¿qué tal, tío? Celda, que te piso. Equípate. Ah, que tengo pistola o qué. A ver. Ah, sí. Vale, ¿y cómo me la equipo? Ah, vale. ¿Cómo? No sé cómo se equipa, tío. ¿Se cura? ¿Haciendo qué? No tengo ni puta idea cómo se equipa aquí, nada. Con la E. No, con la E no es. Bien. Que mañana es viernes, señores. Está de puta madre. Bueno, de momento sigo a hostias. Como toda la vida de Dios. A machete porque no se pone la pistola. Así que bueno. Uy. Que me subo, chaval, que me subo. Hostia, ese tiene un lanzallamas, ¿qué es eso? Uf, se me va a violentar el ano. Oye, ni tan mal, ¿eh? Ni tan mal. Buah, esa parte, que se está acabando el mes. Va volando esto. Joder. Ay, mamina. El mes que viene es el último mes de horario verano. Vale.
Don't come closer, sir.
Puta mierda esta, no veo nada, Joder, hay dos.
Stay away.
Está ya guay.
See them fancy clothes?
Ah, vale, se está cerca eso.
It's on to us. He's dead.
Uy. No viene el cabrón, Uy. Una ballesta. Un arpón o no sé qué es eso. Aluminio en polvo. ¿Para qué será eso? Nuevas prácticas, nuevas tácticas. Vale. Eso lo puse yo, pero qué cojones. Qué mal. Qué malamente, ¿no? O sea, que ayer estuve aquí, creo, ¿no? En South. Vale. Ah, amigo, mira dónde es el equipar. Pistolica. Vaya, vaya. Bueno, vale. Lupara. Aquí, perra. Comiendo ratucas, Oh, qué ricas ratucas.
Fresh blood. The whole building reeks of it. The scent is so strong it makes me dizzy.
Es que no poder agacharme, tío. Es un poco raro, ¿Qué es esto? No, pues parece que no.
As one, we shall overcome this. We've done it before.
Had a drink outside tonight already and it did not quench my thirst. I must have more.
Oh dear God. No.
Ahí está William Bishop. Oh. La guadaña,
Let go of me.
This place reeks of bloodshed.
Oh my God, William. I can't stand it anymore.
Una guarida de vampiro.
This creature is bedeviled. I must put it down.
Es un poco paralítico el combate, tío. No sé, a mi modo de ver. Vale, mi puto. Ese ya, este hijo puta el que me mordió. Un cura. Chelines.
Let me go. William was an honorable man. I could have saved him.
Mr. Hampton, are you in there?
I knew him well, another lost soul, a kindred spirit.
Sir, listen to the sound of my voice. I'm a doctor. You're suffering from shock.
Hostia,
I
hostia
must
puta.
return to my flock, they'll stray without me.
Remember, certain skulls are every bit as resistant as we are.
Who are
Joder.
you? What do you mean by scowl?
You truly are a newborn. I should have realized.
Wait. You are the woman from the bar. Are you like me? Can you help me?
I believe, sir, I already have.
By George and the Saints, you've solved the mystery of these terrible murders. Patience, good fellows, I've come to offer help. Just give me a moment to secure my boat. We can leave this awful place.
William was not the evil man they claimed. He was just taken by the thirst. He needed this drink.
This man requires medical attention. We'll see he gets to the nearest hospital.
No, please, I must tend to my fold. My flock needs me.
There, sir. Go with the good Dr. Swansea. He's resourceful, and I'm sure he'll take good care of you.
You'd best come as well. The sun is soon to rise, and you'll need a place to rest.
I just need a moment. If I can learn something about what has happened to William, I'll be a
William.
step closer to understanding what happened to me.
Vale.
This poor creature can't be my maker. Could it be some subspecies of vampire? I must find a place to analyze the blood. It's locked.
Locked. Ay.
Where are we headed?
We're on our way to the Pembroke Hospital. It's just across the canal. They'll have a bed for poor Mr. Hampton.
William was... What manner of creature was he?
Predator, prey, villain, and victim. Who can say? The important thing is that he's been stopped.
Duly noted. And the woman? What... Who is she?
What woman?
No, don't play me for
Empezamos.
a fool. You used me to locate that skull. You must know who she is.
And I thought you a gentleman. You shouldn't talk about a lady behind her back, but I will tell you she values her privacy. Were London as peaceful as she appears from the middle of the canal? If only that were the reality of the situation.
To be honest, I've always tried to avoid this part of town.
Pembroke Hospital is the last bastion between the rest of London and the epidemic. The flu has decimated the East End and the war still rages. Welcome to the front lines of a plague.
This is where you work, Dr. Swansea.
I am the administrator of Pembroke Hospital.
I thought you were here in service of your mysterious order, the Brotherhood of...
Of St. Paul's Stole, yes. But first and foremost, I'm a man of science. A physician, like yourself, Dr. Reed.
How do you know who I am?
No need for modesty. You are Dr. Jonathan Reed, a surgeon of some caliber and renown, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct, sir.
I knew it. I had my suspicions. But when you took the blood sample from the corpse of poor William, I was certain. Dr. Reed. Marvelous.
Have we met?
I attended 3 of your seminars before the war. I have the utmost admiration for your research. And what a turn of fate. England's most esteemed blood specialist, returns to London a vampire.
That word, again. From a so-called man of science.
I understand. Traditionally, the role of science is to refute myth, but when myth walks among us, the Brotherhood of St. Paul has dedicated its purpose to their study. There's so much for you to learn.
Of that, you are right.
Well, then let me be blunt. Join my staff at Pembroke Hospital. As a physician. I suspect you'll not find a better post of employment to contemplate your predicament.
This is sudden. I was returning home to see my sickly mother. But alas, that was before contracting this affliction.
Dr. Reed, take a moment to consider. The post would be for the night shift, providing a good explanation for your absence during daylight hours. You'll be adequately reimbursed, and have a place to hide. I even had the forethought to bring some clean clothes. So, what do you say?
It seems I have little choice, but yours is a generous offer, so I thank you.
Brilliant! Oh, Jonathan, this is one for the book, and the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Dr. Swansea, thank goodness. I was beginning to be concerned.
Worry no more, Nurse Crane, for I bring good news.
Oh, Doctor, what a night. We lost 2 more patients. Nurse Scow said she couldn't take it anymore and resigned.
Yes, well, I'll make a new rota in the morning. In the meantime, find a good bed for Mr. Hampton. Be sure to pay attention to his needs.
Of course, Doctor.
Oh, and Dorothy,
Yes, Doctor?
Dr. Reed here has just returned from the front. He served King Country. and will
Yeah,
be joining
qué
us here
chulazo.
in Pembroke. We're very lucky to have gained a surgeon of his talent, and one so experienced in blood transfusions.
That is good news indeed, Doctor.
Oh, yes. Here at Pembroke, it's not what we have, but what we haven't. It's only thanks to Nurse Crane and the staff that our ship doesn't sink. If you have any questions, just ask her.
Duly noted. Thank you.
Your assistance is required, Dr. Swansea, immediately.
Welcome aboard, Jonathan. We'll catch up after my rounds. Coming, Nurse Crane. I'm coming.
Le molo.
I cannot enter.
¿Dónde está lo de misiones, tío? Misión principal. ¿Esto qué? Vale. Vale, lléveme a un hospital. Anotado queda. Seguimos.
Come on, you bastard. I won't bite.
Sir, please. You've lost too much blood. Calm yourself.
You think I didn't notice? Stop your staring and get me to an hospital, you arse!
Insult me again and I'll put an end to your misery right now.
All right, sorry. I am in pain here. My guts are spilling out onto the street and you're yabbering on.
Yes. That's a very nasty wound you've got there. Take my word, I am a doctor. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Name's Clay Cox. I'd appreciate you helping me to a better place, Doc.
Follow me, Mr. Cox. Let me assist you to that better place.
Vale, espectáculo.
Bring this fading light into the shadows. Dance with him the dance of life and death.
Sentenciar o liberar.
No more. Not tonight. Not like this. I will not take another life.
What happened? Whoa, I feel giddy.
It is wise for the huntsman to sometimes let his prey go, but no famished hunter can run for long.
Joder. Bueno, debería haberme comido a ese, porque el Pip mató a otro. Pero bueno. ¿Dónde estamos ahora? A ver. Aquí. Whitechapel. Donde... Jack el Destripador. Barra de plomo. ¿Para qué valdrán los componentes esos?
It's locked, all right.
Esas marcas personales no me molan una mierda. Whitechapel. Estado del distrito grave. Me cabe. Me cacha, mira. Qué oportuno. Cada. Sano. Bueno. Esto es otro distrito, ¿eh? Bueno, otra cosa. A ver, no creo que se pueda acceder a nada. Pero mira, hay ratucas. Hay ratucas para comer. ¡Buah! Caja grande de pastillones. Matón. Nah.
Best be moving on. Stop right now. Lead spotted.
¿Cómo llego? Me cago en la hostia, chaval, me han matado. No se puede ir tan de risas por ahí.
It's locked, all right. Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed.
Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir. Especially when he was supposedly dead.
A colleague. Are you a doctor too?
Not anymore, sir. I used to be Dr. Rakesh Chadana. Now, I'm just Mr. Chadana, pawnbroker and humble guardian of this morgue.
What do you mean, you used to be a doctor? Was your license revoked?
No, sir. It is just that I like to be precise. I run a little pawn shop while taking care of the dead. But I used to be a real doctor.
Are you afraid or uneasy being surrounded by so many corpses?
Why should I? These bodies are empty vessels. Flesh left to decay. Poof. No soul anymore. All gone.
An interesting point of view. And quite an exotic one, too. Most people fear, or at least have a respect, for dead flesh.
Sir, as a medic during the war, I learned to face my death and the death of others. It's the pain we have to tame, not death itself.
How did you get this job?
After I left the army, I worked as an undertaker down by the docks. A dangerous place with many an unpleasant business there. Milton Hooks helped me get a job here.
Do you work here alone?
Yes, very easy work, sir. All I have to do is watch a few bodies. The situation was very different when the main morgue was still open.
Why close the hospital's main morgue?
It was for sanitary reasons after the beginning of the epidemic. Cadavers had to be moved to the nearest mass grave.
Why do you have to watch these bodies?
Because these poor fellows have no names. We keep them in case someone comes looking for the missing. Sadly, very rarely happens.
Have we met before?
I don't think so, sir. Why?
When we first talked, you said you were glad to meet me since I was reported dead.
Funny story, sir. Your sister came here a few nights ago. You were missing, and she was looking for your body. She must be very relieved now.
En parte sí.
A pawnbroker? I expect you get all types of people here.
Yes, sir. All kind of people. For I sell all kind of goods.
Who comes here to trade with you? It's very unhygienic, even unsafe. Diseases can spread. For the customers, for the hospital.
I'm very cautious, sir. I've been a doctor, remember? And all my clients are good people. In fact, I think I only know good people.
What kind of goods?
With the quarantine, it's not always easy to buy things. So I trade, I exchange. Some people sell, some others buy. I like to help.
Since you're not afraid of dying, do you believe in life after death, Rakesh?
No. I believe we must do all the good we can while alive. For our time is short, and the obstacles are endless.
Do you think you would enjoy immortality as a concept?
I don't think so. Don't mistake me. I love life, and I'd like to live a long life. But everything has to decay, sir. Even goodwill.
Do you really believe goodwill cannot last?
As I said, sir, everything decays. If I was to never die, goodness, I would be bored or worse. And I like to be helpful, sir.
Quite depressing, wouldn't you say?
Yes, but the good news is, we'll all die before losing our humanity, sir.
What?
So you're ready to die?
No, I am not. I don't fear death, for I won't see it. What troubles me is the pain my death will inflict to those I know.
You're a wise man, Mr. Chidana.
No, Dr. Reed. I am a foolish man. But I like to think otherwise.
Please show me what you have to sell.
Of course. It's just trinkets and curios, really. But I'm sure they can be useful.
Obvio.
Good evening.
Pilar. Poca gente hay aquí, que sea por capítulos esto. Ah, bueno, claro. Supongo que se podrá ir y venir, digo yo, no lo sé. A los distintos
Goodbye, Mr. Chidam.
barrios, vaya.
I cannot enter. It's
Está
locked. all right.
loquísimo. Joder. Milton Hawks. Vaya, que el Milton Hawks es un pesetero, ¿eh? Milton extorsiona a algunos de los pastillas. Puto.
It's locked.
¿Y cómo pollas voy a entrar si está locked? Ábrame, puto. Hospital completo. Joder. Vaya desastre, tío. Marchas a casa. Estoy malo, jódase. Terrible esto. Vale. ¿Cómo prevenir la gripe española? Mira. Gripe española, mira lo que te digo. Por aquí. Putos guiris de mierda. Ay, hay que tener cojones, de verdad. En fin. Tapes el agua con un pañuelo al toser. Vaya caminando al trabajo. No escupa, cerdo. No comparte su vaso. Evite multitudes. En caso de enfermar, repose y acuda a un médico.
Scowl voices in the garden. I should investigate. If they were to find somebody.
Hijo puta. Me está poniendo a caldo, chaval. Joder, con el escal este. Joder. ¿Qué pasa, el Iker, tío? Lo empecé ayer, el jueguel este, del vampiro. Nada, tío, mañana les Fordez. Hoy 9. Entré ayer a jugar. Jugué ayer entré, pero bastante tarde, tío, porque el cumpleaños de un chaval que era, bueno, de un chaval que hace directos también. Un señor que hace directos. Y entré ahí y tal, y dijo, oh, jugáis no sé qué, era bastante tarde, pero entré a jugar igualmente, pero bueno, muriendo, y hoy moría, hoy quería morir, tío. Así que hoy me voy a cortar, voy a jugar un ratín, poca cosa. Empecé hace... ¿cuánto? 50 minutos llevo. Jugaré otra media hora o así. Bueno, hombre. Hacer ahí... un pequeño homenaje al cumpleañero. Y nada, y Y eso. Y que seguramente luego vaya un par de capítulos de South Park o algo de esto. Y... Ah, por cierto. Quería mirar una cosa. Voy a mirarla ya. Hay una peli de Nicolas Cage ahora que se llama Color Out of Space. Esa que es de Netflix o algo de esto. ¿Se podrá conseguir? Por estas vías... de Steam verde. Por el Netflix verde. Sí, señor. Ah, no, pero espérate, Web Rip, sí. Aquí está, 2019. Ah, no, pero es de 2019, joder. Ah, de puta madre, mejor. A ver. Tamaño. Esta. A ver. O esta. Screener, ¿no? Esta. Que son 2 gigas. Venga, ahí estamos. Ya luego miro el... Busco luego el subtítulo. ¡Hala! Allá va. Hoy no, tío. Hoy no. Mira a ver a Sasha. Igual anda Sasha. Ayer estuvo Sasha un poco en el directo y luego fuimos para el Discord. Échale un mensaje que decía que habla más que nunca coincidía estando tú. Igual ella sí se anima, tío. Me va a decir si quieres jugar por... si es que te apetece jugar. Sí, porque... Sí, yo por semana no suelo jugar, tío. Coincidió el otro día porque no, el viernes como no había jugado, pues como que el fin de me supo poco. Pero si no, a mí por semana, yo con la viciada gorda del fin de tantas horas, tío, ya me quedo... Aparte que luego me duele la muñeca, tío. Ya, ahora no me duele, tío. Ay, joder. Vale. Bueno, investigado. Ya me vio el cabrón. Sí. Nada, aquí no descansa. Por eso. Hay que descansar. Toma. Vale. Me raya este juego, tío. Que no me sé si me dejo cosas por ahí tiradas. Que no recogí. Uso mucho de cositas por ahí tiradas. Los de Don't Not, Don't Not. Se llama la empresa esta. Y con cosas que... Pues que normalmente está todo vacío. Todo vacío. Entonces, claro. ¿Ves? Ahora, por ejemplo, aquí se puede coger eso, ¿no? Que brilla la tapa. Me mató, tío. Cago en Dios. Me han jodido de vida. No sé si será mejor obviar estos combates. Aparte que todavía no subí de nivel. ¡Mongolo! Sube de nivel. La casa está vivo, ¿sabes? Pesadito. La tercera persona, tío, que poco me gusta. Está ocupando el personaje, tío, la puta mitad de la pantalla, tío. Hago la hostia. Y no sé por romper las cosas, tío. Tampoco me hace mucho tilín. Son bastante tontos, pero bueno. Tranquilo, hombre. Nah, fue que lo hice mal antes, vale. Milton y Pipa. Una misión de ciudadano arrastrarla con... Mira, ¿quién es? Devuelve la cartera a su propietario. Sí, ¿cómo? Hay cosas que no me quedan muy claras con la interfaz y esto, tío. Ah, aquí, vale. Vale. Será por aquí, digo yo, ¿no? No, por aquí fue por donde entré, ¿no? ¿Estoy yendo al revés o qué pollas es esto? No me queda nada claro.
Good evening, nurse. I'm Dr. Johnson.
Qué fea es la hija puta.
Here at the Pembroke.
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you, sir. I'm Nurse Gwyneth Brannigan. Welcome to the Pembroke Hospital.
Did he really? It's a good thing I wasn't hoping to keep a low profile.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique. Dr. Swansea made sure of that.
I see. Well, I'm a little surprised, but I suppose I'll just have to deal with this unexpected notoriety.
You must know, blood transfusions are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of research. He is convinced it is the future.
Do you require medical assistance, nurse?
Thank you for your concern, but I'm fine.
Ah, vale.
How are things here?
Not good, to say the least. We're struggling against an invisible enemy, more lethal than any bullet from a gun. It's hard, Doctor.
An invisible enemy? Quite a poetic term for a disease, especially from a nurse.
Sorry, Doctor. These last few weeks have been exhausting. We could all do with a good night's sleep.
Do you think this hospital can survive the epidemic?
We are all volunteers here, and we're trying to hold fast, but how do we beat an invisible killer? Some nurses have already resigned.
I'm not familiar with all the staff yet. Perhaps you could help me.
Brilliant professionals, most of them. Dr. Swansea has a gift for recruiting talent.
Most of them. Is there a problem I should know about, nurse?
It would be inappropriate for me to speak ill of a colleague.
Nurse Brannigan, if you do know something, please tell me. Anything you say will be held in confidence.
No. I may disagree with some conduct, but in the end, everybody is doing their best.
Is there anyone that stands out?
Well, I have never met someone as dedicated as Dr. Tippett. He should be a standard for us all here. If only he were younger.
Why should his age be a problem?
I guess it's fair to say he's always pushing himself to the limits. He just doesn't know when to stop and get some rest.
Vale.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Come on, I don't have all night.
Nos robando aquí equipamiento del hospital. Este es un hospital de campaña. ¿Pero esto es lo mismo de antes o qué? Sí, ¿no? Sí, Whitechapel. Cojones. A ver.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Goodbye, Mr. Chidana.
It never ceases to amaze me how you, the dead. Good evening, Dr. Reed. Such a pleasure to see.
Goodbye, Mr. Chidana.
It never ceases to amaze me how you, the dead, seem peaceful and lost at the same time.
Es curioso esto. Ah, es un mercader. Yo que pensaba que era dinero. Es un mercader. Y mi dinero para él. Oye, tío, deja de poner mierdas de estas o... No me jodas. Se quita con la F. Bueno, a ver, dale.
Doctor, where have you been? I've little time to play hide and seek with new staff members, no matter how illustrious they may be.
I found a wounded man by the docks. He answers to the name of Clay Cox. He requires urgent medical attention.
Already making the rounds? That's the Pembroke spirit. I'll ask our porter, Milton, to bring him back immediately.
Thank you, nurse. What can I do for you?
Dr. Swansea insisted we provide you a quiet office. You'll find it on the second floor with your name on the door.
Thank you.
Joder, qué rápido, ¿no?
Nurse Crane, isn't it?
Yes, Dorothy Crane. Welcome to Pembroke Hospital, Dr. Reed. Your office has been prepared.
Es la carnicera de Milwaukee, no me jodas.
I would like to ask a few questions first. And Mr. Hampton, the patient we brought in, how does he fare?
I gave him a sedative to help him sleep. Poor thing was in quite a state of shock.
What kind of man is Dr. Swansea?
Well, you accepted the job from him. I thought you would have known about your employer.
It's right to assume Dr. Swansea knows far more about me than I do about him.
You'll get to know him soon enough, and better than me. The administrator has better things to do than mix with us.
Apologies, I've only just met him the once. This is sudden. I've only just returned to England.
Dr. Swansea is a brilliant surgeon and the most compassionate physician.
If you could point me in the direction of my room again, nurse.
Second floor of the hospital, left after the stairs. It's the last vacant office at the end of the corridor.
Thank you, nurse. Good evening, sir.
So it is true. The famous Dr. Reed has joined us. I can't think of any better news during these terrible times.
Do we know each other?
Actually, yes. We met once before, at the Rockefeller University in New York.
Dr. Tippett, yes, I remember. I was assisting Professor Carell in his research about coronary bypasses. He had nothing but praise for you.
He was also very confident about your future. And look at you now. Eminent surgeon and blood transfusion specialist.
What is the Pembroke Hospital situation? And please, speak freely.
This hospital is not exactly the best of London. I'm sure you are used to working in a better environment.
It's more than enough. In any case, the personnel of a hospital are much more important to me than the building.
Don't be misled by appearances, Dr. Reed. This hospital does not lack talented people. It just lacks hope.
What can you tell me about the staff in the hospital?
Some are really good, and others are not so good. But during this troubled period, there is no time for slander. I prefer to focus on the positive character traits.
Tell me more about cherished people, then.
Nurse Brannigan is a pearl. She is the most helpful and dedicated nurse I've ever worked with. A clever and cheerful woman.
You really seem to admire her skills.
I'll go even further. If she was a man, she would be a damn fine practitioner.
Any opinion about the management?
I don't always agree with Dr. Swansea's reserve, but I must admit he does all he can to keep this facility running during this crisis.
Ah, yes, the burden of command. I was fed up with this concept while serving as a medical officer.
Don't get me wrong. Swansea's a good administrator. I just wish he would get out of his office now and again.
You're exhausting yourself, Corcoran. Maybe you should think about preserving your strength.
No. We must keep on healing all those poor souls. We are the last rampart before chaos. Once more, unto the breach.
Nurse Brannigan is worried about you, Doctor.
She should not have told you that. I will have a word with her.
You don't have to blame her for her honesty.
I'm not that kind of man, my dear Jonathan. Actually, Nurse Brannigan's opinion is the only one I may listen to.
You're exhausting yourself.
No.
Nurse Brannigan, you don't...
Ah, mira, te la deja ahí, no te deja escoger otra. Bien, bien. Eso está bien.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
Porque si no es un cachondeo.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'm new here.
I've already heard about you, Dr. Reed. I'm Milton Hooks, the ambulance driver for this shithole of a hospital.
That's quite a blunt introduction, Mr. Hooks.
You can call me Milton. I like to speak my mind, Dr. Reed. Perk of the job. Don't judge me, and I won't judge you.
I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about.
Well, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure a gun can't be used as a surgical instrument.
You have a keen eye. I learned to shoot during the war, and have carried one ever since. Old habits die hard.
No need to explain, Dr. Reed. And if you ever need a better gun, remember, I may have something for you.
I have some good news, Milton.
What? The epidemic's over?
I retrieved your wallet, with all the money, and a certain picture.
Well, yeah, Pippa Hawkins is my girl. So what? Is it the difference of skin colour that bothers you?
Not at all, Milton.
Good. Please, take this money anyway. To remind you to keep your mouth shut. Not everybody is as broad-minded as you, Dr. Reed.
How is the situation around here?
You want to hear the situation is all right? It's fucking awful. We lack everything, and it's getting worse every day.
So what do you do exactly in this hospital? Apart from smuggling guns, I mean.
I've been an ambulance driver since... too long, I guess. I bring sick people here night and day. It's a dirty job, but I get it done. Most of the time.
Since you're on the front line, how is the sanitary situation in this vicinity?
It's a complete disaster. It's even getting dangerous to enter some streets or buildings. Even the locals attack you.
It sounds like things have been a bit rough recently. What's happened?
Yesterday I got attacked by the patient I was bringing here. I escaped through the hospital's garden, but I lost my wallet when I was running.
You left an infected patient outside the hospital? That's incredibly dangerous.
Go there yourself if you want, but be careful, Doctor. I'd rather not bring your dead body back.
Vale, eso ya está.
Are you really smuggling weapons through the hospital?
And why not? I've already been attacked by patients, you know. And by gang members willing to steal my money.
But you're not defending yourself. You're selling guns to civilians.
You keep people alive your own way, Doctor. I offer them another way to protect their health.
I'd like to see your good.
Wise choice, Dr. Reed.
Sí, o sea, parece que hay algún tipo de crafteo. Parece.
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Ah, esa misma de antes.
Why does Dr. Tippett's claim you're the main reason he keeps working, despite his fatigue?
If it wasn't for him, I probably would have left the Pembroke.
Están enamorados.
Dr. Tippett
Están
doesn't
enamorados.
think of you as just a nurse anymore. does he?
If you're suggesting he's not taking my gender into consideration when it comes to medical practice and knowledge, I really hope he doesn't.
Do you require medical...
Thank you for your...
Do you require...
Thank you for your...
Goodbye, nurse.
Es el señor de antes, nada.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doc.
Goodbye, Milton. Dr. Swansea is right. This place seems perfect to conduct my research. Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon at the Pembroke Hospital. And who are you?
Your name has no meaning to me, mortal.
Venga, una loca.
Nothing but dust blown by the winds of eternity.
I beg your pardon?
What are you begging for, mortal? My clemency? Well, tonight maybe I'm inclined to mercy. You'll never forget the night you met Thelma Howcroft.
You keep calling me mortal. Why is that? And if I'm mortal, what are you?
Well, Dr. Reed, if you must know, I'm a vampire.
Está como una chota.
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to believe anything. It is what I am. It is what I feel within this hollow shell of flesh.
Please, describe to me how you feel. What is it like to be a vampire?
I can hear my body crumble from the inside as my flesh cracks and fades. I sense the last pulse of postulant blood within my drying veins. I need new blood.
I see. Have you ever heard of Cottage Syndrome, Miss Howcroft?
Never.
It's a mental illness discovered by a French neurologist named Jules Cotard. The affected patients are delusional. They believe that they are putrefying, that they are dead, a ghost or a ghoul, or in your case, a vampire.
Delusional, you say? Oh, sad and petty mortal. You can't even begin to understand the concept of immortality. And you think it is I who am delusional.
Como una chota.
I'm assuming you must be a patient here. Am I right, Miss Howcroft?
It's only a cover. To hide from my enemies. I can leave whenever I want. As a woman, a spirit, fog, or bat.
Who are these enemies you mentioned? Can you describe them?
I cannot say for sure. But I sense their eyes on me from nearby. I feel them watching me every time I visit the garden near the morgue.
Terrible, boy.
The staff here are not your enemy. They're here to help you, to care for you.
I'm not speaking of the doctors in white. I'm speaking of the women who hunt me. For I am a vampire.
I see. Don't worry. These people will not find you here. I'll personally make sure they leave you alone.
Thank you, mortal. But do not interfere with them, for you are no match for those that hunt me.
No.
Who are you really, Miss Howcroft? I mean, apart from being a vampire.
Is that not enough for you, puny mortal? What do you require? Proof of my powers?
I'm curious to know who you were before becoming a vampire.
No, such a long time ago, I don't remember. Centuries of unholy life can have strange effects on one's minds, you see?
Como una chota.
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your
Mistress of the Dark.
activities.
Ay. Qué trolazo. ¿Dónde están objetivos? Ah, no me jodas, tío. Fatal error. A ver, ¿dónde me guarda esto? No sé. Ah, aquí. Investigaciones locales. Vale. Otro loco.
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor. I don't think we've been introduced yet.
Pipa.
My name is Pippa Hawkins.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Dr. Swansea has recently offered me a position in this hospital.
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will...
Vale.
How would you describe the situation at the Pembroke Hospital?
It's serious. The flu is
Nurse Hawkins,
I wish I could believe you.
you must get a hold of yourself now.
Sorry.
How long have you been a nurse?
Well, long enough to see that the epidemic is winning. And no matter how qualified you are, don't tell me you'll change that.
You'd be surprised what dedication can achieve, Nurse Hawkins. In medicine, sometimes we're just a test result away from a miracle.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to...
Pepper, I know you're very close to Milton Hooks.
Yes? Milton Hooks is my man.
It's my
If you
man.
want to report me for that, just feel free, Doctor.
I have no intention of reporting you, Nurse Hawkins. But are you aware of the risks?
The rules say I won't be allowed to work as a nurse anymore. But here at the Pembroke, we break rules all the time.
Is he worth the risk?
Hey, I'm no perfect woman, and Milton is not the finest bloke. But we do our best to get by. That's all any of us can hope for nowadays.
Me parece bien.
How is the Pembroke staff coping with the epidemic?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy.
Why is Milton grumpy on a...
Milton's not the kind of man who's bothered about a bad rep...
Ah.
Why does Milton dislike doctors?
I don't know. Just ask him. But be warned. Milton is not the chatty type.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Goodbye.
Here again. I wish I could be sick again. Feel my blood boil with the fever.
Good evening, Mr. Hampton.
How do you feel?
Dr. Reed, is it? Oh, sir, I must apologize for my behavior.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion made me say awful things to you, I'm afraid.
You remained perfectly nice and polite. A little delirious, perhaps. But who wouldn't be after enduring an abduction?
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
How did you end up in William Bishop's den?
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior. I went to his place and he refused to let me go.
Why did he abduct you?
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed to blood. I don't know why. Just like a patient I met here. This Miss Hawcroft.
You dared to enter this awful place alone. You're a hero, Mr. Hampton. Or a fool.
I'm just a man trying to help his friends, Dr. Reed. William Bishop was a conflicted soul, searching for light.
Do you know Tom Watts, the bartender from the Turtle? I met him before I found you in the canning factory.
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping hand, good old Tom. Without men like him, corruption and despair would have wiped out the East End long ago.
People are still in despair.
How could it be otherwise? The authorities have left us all to rot in this contagious nightmare. No drugs, no advice, nothing. It's a damn shame.
Who should I avoid in this part of town, then? Any particularly evil figures?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing their best. And it's not my habit to speak ill of people I know, Doctor.
What is the general situation in the East End docks?
The situation has always been tough, with a lot of tensions between the gangs and the dockers' trade union. The wet boot boys are very nervous since they lost their leader.
Who leads the gang now?
Since Clay Cox went missing, it's his wife Edwina who runs the show, with the assistance of her minion, Booth Digby.
Has the gang been threatening you?
Ah, no. I've had this nickname for so long, you know, the sad saint of the East End. No one dares to bug a saint, not even criminals.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Hampton? I can't help but notice the cross around your neck.
I manage a night asylum for the poor and homeless of the docks, and I try to guide the lost and hesitant on the right path to our Lord.
Are you a priest, Mr. Hampton? A deacon, maybe?
Not at all, Doctor. I'm just a man of faith willing to preach the good word.
Why didn't you use your cross against William Bishop? To repel him somehow?
That's a very strange question, Doctor. A cross is no magical token, if that's what you were trying to say. Not mine, anyway.
Have you made friends since you arrived?
Not really, but I recognize Miss Harriet Jones. I knew her when she lived by the docks. That poor woman had such a miserable life.
You never came to see her here at Pembroke? Receiving visits when sick can be an important part of the healing process, you know. We're not just bodies.
You're preaching to the converted now, Doctor. To be truly honest, I thought she was dead. She left the docks many months ago.
How do you feel, Mr. Hampton? Medically speaking, I mean.
I feel exhausted. Beyond exhaustion, actually. William drank so much of my blood in his madness. I feel empty.
You're in good hands here. Dr. Swansea is well versed in blood transfusion, and I'm sure he'll take the best care of you.
Thank you, sir. I believe all I need is rest, and then I can go back to the people who need me.
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton. We'll talk again later.
Time has lost its
Good
effect
evening,
on
sir.
me.
Can I help you?
Unless you're here to fix my face. No. I don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr. Reed. I've recently taken the position of head surgeon here. War injuries, am I right?
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little mug right off. But they still call me Thomas Elwood.
Motherpiece. Ay. Hinata, que te vi. Gracias. Ah, es el loco ese. Vale.
How is your stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss. I just escaped death in the trenches to be surrounded again by the moans of the dying.
Can I ask you precisely why you're a patient here?
It's the pain, sir.
The pain?
The drugs don't work. It just hurts under the scars, if you get my drift.
Can I do anything?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills.
Who is treating you? Is someone in
Buenas, Joshua.
after your case?
Nobody since the old and tired.
¿Qué tal, Gina? ¿Cómo vas?
Started to think I was forgotten about. Won't blame you.
You don't seem
Aquí
The face hurts
echando
so
un
much
ratete
more
a
when
esto.
I smile or cry.
Quería dejar investigado todo el hospital antes de quiero ver una peli o South Park o algo después. ¿Qué tal, Joshua? ¿Cómo estás, tío?
Soldier.
Soldier.
You need assistance.
I'm fine. Just do something.
How is your stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss.
Can I ask you?
It's the pain, sir.
Eso ya lo había preguntado. Está bueno, está bueno.
Did you serve?
Está guay.
I really don't want to talk about all this shit.
No offense. I was pushing too much. I served in France myself. I just wanted to know.
Pero es bastante de, ahí tiene bastante de parloteo y eso,
Then I
¿eh?
doubt we fought the same war, sir. No offense.
Sí, si te lo vas a pillar, si aprovechas. Espera, lo tienes ahí en el. Bueno, es que ahora cambio, ahora se llama. Mira, te lo pongo ahí, mi enlace de afiliado del Humble Bundle este mes están el Vampyr y unos cuantos juegos más por 12 euros. Por 12 dólares. 11 euros y algo. Que fue de lo que lo tengo yo. Si te lo pillas de ahí, a mí me dan un like también. Y nada. Y si no, no sé cuánto costará, pero bueno. Yo creo que es una buena opportunity. Pero ten en cuenta que es una suscripción, ¿eh? O sea, según te suscribas, luego tienes que desuscribirte, digamos, para que no te lo cobren al mes siguiente. Lo que pasa es que ahora no sé cómo funciona, la verdad. Pero bueno, ya hablaremos de eso, si no, otro día. No. Mañana. Mañana trabajo, mañana de noche. Mañana trabajo, así que por eso quería revisar todo esto y tal. ¿Qué vas a jugar o qué? ¿Lo arreglaste? Vale.
So do you let her bite you? You know that's not sanitary.
And why not? She's only supping a few drops of my blood. And the pain, it's real for once.
She could decide to bite less willing patients.
And it's another good reason for me to stay here, Doctor.
Si quieres lo revisamos, te ayudo a mirarlo mañana.
It's called the Cottage Syndrome. She truly believes she's a vampire.
In her madness, she never refers to my scars. And frankly, if I could, I'd join her world. It seems much more fun than the real one.
Mañana, pues no sé, sobre las 6 o 7, bueno, hablamos, si no, incrépame por la tarde. Esto ya está todo, ¿no? Sí. Incrépame por la tarde, yo qué sé, a las... ¿Sobre qué hora? No, yo creo que a partir de las 6, 7. Y ya te digo, porque saldré sobre esa hora de currar. Más o menos. No, lo digo por si se me olvida. Porque... No me va la olla. Un poco, ¿eh? Y como... Entonces, bueno, no. Puede que me acuerde, pero bueno. Si no te escribí yo, escríbeme tú. Y así, listo.
It's locked.
Carta extensa. Birmingham.
It's locked. It's locked.
A ver, la pipa esta. Que me oculta aquí. Esta. Pipa se está planteando abandonar. Vale. Nah. No creo que sea muy relevante. No entiendo bien los iconos del mapa. Porque aquí sale como un... Abrió quien espía a Thelma. Pero ¿dónde están? Como no estén aquí abajo. A ver. No.
Whoa, I feel giddy.
Nada, que no tengo mucha idea de cuál será. Así que bueno, ya lo haré. Ah, mira, ya me deja entrar y salir por ahí. Vale, es algo. Ya es algo esto. Qué musiquina, tío. Ganas de tirarme por la ventana. Cerrado. Más escaleras. Pasa que lo que sí le veo es que está muy vacío. Muy grande, pero está todo muy vacío. No. Abajo sí, abajo había mucha gente. Pero aquí ahora ya ves, ni Dios. Las puertas están todas cerradas. Yo qué sé. ¿Qué es esto? Serrucho.
It's locked, all right.
Ah, bien.
This must be the place. It's definitely away from prying eyes.
Joder, vaya despacho que tiene, ¿no?
Relegated to the
Es un despacho
shadows.
puticlub, cama,
A
casa.
kingdom of my own. At least I won't be sleeping in a coffin.
Bien, bien. Artículos sobre los econs. Mesmeráis. Un vampiro al que entrevisté.
The flower's dying. It needs water.
Ahí está el crafteo. Vale. Pero no lo había visto. ¿Qué? Vale. Bueno. Bueno.
William Bishop's blood is much more unstable than human blood and shows extensive mutation. But this is not what happened to me. I must keep on searching. The sun is about to rise. I can feel it. I'll continue tomorrow night. I have so much time now.
Bueno, pues nada, voy a guardar y voy a dejarlo por aquí. Bueno, de paso voy a subir de nivel, claro. Aumenta la salud. Aumenta la energía. De momento sí. Un poco, si no. Esto es la vida física. Vale. Capacidad de sangre. Parfor. No entiendo muy bien las habilidades estas. Esta sí, porque... Ah, que no tengo. Pues vale 1000, joder. Su puta madre. Su puta madre, es carísimo. Bueno, pues nada. A ver, este nivel 2 vale 2000, su madre. ¿Cuánto vale? 600. Barrera de sangre. No lo sé, la verdad. Así que lo dejo así. Me guardo el dinero y la experiencia para otro momento. La noche siguiente.
If I'm to stay here until my research is complete,
vale.
I'd better learn to hide my true nature from the mortals. But what about my thirst for blood?
Pues nada, chiques. Aquí se queda esto. Supongo que tendré las misiones todavía, ¿no? Sí. Vale. Vale. Nada, de puta madre. El juego es abierto. Pues mueves por el mapita este. Pero... sí. Los escondites y demás. Y vas haciendo investigación. Entonces por eso no es ahí... A ver, muchas hostias. Ayer jugué un poquito y otro poquito. Y hostias... Hubo más tiempo de parloteo, de investigación y bla bla. Pero bueno. Está guay. A mí me mola. Así que nada. Para mí suficiente. Bueno, corazones, anden con Dios, Nos vemos mañana. Gracias por pasarse. Bye bye.